Hey everyone, this is Danny from the Ringside Rant with a quick review about the first episode of Monday Night Raw of 2013. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at the Ringside Rant and like our Facebook fan page at www.facebook.com/the Ringside Rant. I'm not a Cena fan, but his promo on Dolph Ziggler was actually pretty funny. This led to a match with Ziggler against Cena, which in my opinion was a 5 out of 5 match. It was back and forth the whole time with amazing spots and huge moves. One of the best matches I have seen on Raw in an extremely long time, with Cena getting the win over Ziggler. However, Big E Langston, who is Ziggler's bodyguard, I guess you could say, this kind of reminded me a bit of how Diesel was with Shawn Michaels back in the early 1990s. Next up was the match with the Divas, which pretty much the Divas in WWE aren't that great these days. I'd rather watch the TNA Knockout division, which is awesome. So I took my piss break and got up and got a drink. Next up, Santino was backstage with Ricky Steamboat, which I went nuts over because it's just Ricky Steamboat. Enough said. Wade Barrett showed up and started running his mouth about how now that he's Intercontinental Champion, the title actually means something, and that the Dragon is just an old man blowing smoke now. The Dragon insisted in being in Santino's corner and said he will see how much smoke this old dragon can blow. Onto another backstage segment with Randy Orton, which I decided to not pay too much attention to because I feel that Randy Orton is just stale now and needs to turn heel finally. Daniel Bryan and Kane versus Rhodes Scholars. Well, Daniel Bryan is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, mainly because of his work with Ring of Honor before WWE. This match was okay, with Rhodes Scholars coming out on top with a victory, which I think is ridiculous because that made Daniel Bryan and Kane look extremely weak. WWE is dropping the ball with Team Hell No storyline in my opinion. Randy Orton versus Heath Slater, well, this wasn't your general squash match, but I still consider it a small squash match with Orton just beating on Slater the whole time, which was just boring the hell out of me. Orton wins and, well, Heath Slater still looks like the girl from Wendy's. Wade Barrett versus Santino with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in his corner. Another boring match, but what interested me the most was Wade Barrett looking to beat up Steamboat, and when Steamboat wanted to fight with him and took his jacket off, Barrett got out of the ring like a pussy. I'm interested to see if WWE will do anything with this, as Wade Barrett is an amazing piece of talent who just needs to be used correctly. And Steamboat can still actually wrestle good in my opinion, considering his match that he had with Chris Jericho at WrestleMania a few years back. Antonio Cesaro versus the Great Khali was an extremely boring match. Cesaro won, but I hate Khali and I love Antonio Cesaro, especially because of his work on the Indies and Ring of Honor before WWE. WWE needs to bring in Chris Hero, who's actually working in the developmental system right now for WWE, and reform the Kings of Wrestling, as they were in Ring of Honor, which would spice up WWE's tag team division about 100% in my opinion. On to Sheamus versus Jinder Mahal. Well, this was an okay match. I'm a huge Sheamus fan, but there was just too much interference from the three-man band. Sheamus annihilated all of them eventually, but I feel Sheamus would have been against somebody else tonight, which would have made it a lot better. Next up, the Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match with Ryback and CM Punk was actually an amazing match with amazing spots and huge bumps taken onto the ladder, through tables, and so on. Great match, and I haven't seen the lights go out during a WWE match and people appear in the ring in years. This excited me when they came back on. The Shield took out Ryback. Ryback was so close to winning. I was super excited, and this match just amped me right up. Punk wins. Big Show versus Kofi Kingston. Well, I blinked and missed the whole fucking match because all that happened was the Big Show hitting the knockout punch. Why WWE had Kofi Kingston job like that to the Big Show is beyond me, and this was another amazing match, what could have been awesome. An amazing promo with CM Punk dropping pipe bombs left, right, and center. Out comes The Rock to interrupt was an amazing promo, as always, from The Rock, calling Punk a cookie puss, which obviously was hilarious to the older fan base and not this stupid PG era bullshit the WWE is going on right now. Back and forth trash talking and hyping their match up for the Royal Rumble in 20 days. I actually cannot wait for this pay-per-view. It is going to be amazing. I'm overly excited, and I hope the WWE doesn't drop the ball with this one. Anyways, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my channel and comment with your opinions. We will be having our online TV show, our website, everything coming extremely soon. So right now we're just going to have video blogs. Our online TV show will be airing this coming Sunday with 3 amazing topics that I'll be talking about with our set, professionally done, everything, and you do not want to miss this if you're a wrestling fan.